Today I'm going to be playing a Patreon deck from Shish. But before I get into this list, I just want to briefly mention that I have 4 other Patreon decks that have been sent to me, and 3 of them are Hero Power Mages. So if any of you 3 would like to send me a different deck to play, you can do that. Or if you just want me to play Hero Power Mage 3 times in a row, that's fine. They're all fairly different. One is standard, 2 are wild, and among the wild, 1 is even, 1 is not, so they're all pretty different. But anyway, you can send me a different list if you want, or not. Either way is fine. So anyway, this list is going to be a Primordial Protector Jewel of N'Zoth Hunter. For Deathrattles, we've got a Claw Machine, a couple Teacher's Pets, Talon Forward Ring, and then I believe Zixor is the only other one, so pretty good spread of Deathrattle minions. I mentioned Talon Forward Ring, which of course can find Primordial Protector, which of course finds Jewel of N'Zoth, so a good little bit of synergy there. We also play Kindling Elemental to get the Primordial Protectors out a little bit earlier, which is nice. Even with 1 discount it's nice, because then we can go 7 into 8 instead of 8 into 8. Other than that, it looks like we're just playing some good Hunter cards. We've got a Kodobane package with Mancrick, and then some cheaper spells as well. I guess we also have Carrion Studies as fuel for the Jewel of N'Zoth. So yeah, seems like fun. It's also an archetype that I've been kind of wanting to play as well.
Victory for the Forsaken.
Neralex is pretty good on turn 3. I'd probably mulligan it if I was up against like a face hunter maybe, but warrior should give me the time to play it, especially if it's control warrior. I have to imagine control warrior is probably a pretty favored matchup for me. Talon is definitely the best minion here. Showstopper could be pretty terrible off Jewel. Disguised Wanderer comes down on 3 when I want to play Neralex. Yeah, we'll just play Talon. So I'm going to have both Primordial Protectors this game. Hopefully I don't draw either of my jewels. Nightmare is good. Not sure what I'll need it for, but seems good. Interesting. Commencement is still in standard, right? But Dimensional Ripper is not. Teacher's Pet over Talon, just because of stats. Found a Dream. Dream is good against Rattlegore, I guess. I spend 1 mana, they spend 9. That's a fine minion. Warsong Wrangler. So what's my plan this game? Talon on 5. I need plays for 6 and 7. Alright, let's go Wrangler plus Adorable Infestation here. With Adorable Infestation I can value trade instead of killing my Panther. And then over the next couple turns I can still just play Talon plus Teacher's Pet leading into Protector plus Jewel. Talon... probably just play the bigger one here. If I actually needed the Protector, like from my Talon, then I'd probably play Talon here, just give it more time to die so I can actually Protector on 8, but I have a Protector in hand, so I'll just play the bigger minion this turn. Looks like Talon might have been better into Minefield, actually, because then the opponent couldn't have drawn a card, but whatever. Good minion. Pretty much all of the minions you can hit off Teacher's Pet are good nowadays. Not really sure what I'd be looking for off of tracking. Let's just go for a nice Talon. I should have a pretty strong sequence of threats coming up. So at any point, maybe this Nightmare just wins the game. That Ranker's kind of annoying, but at least I buffed my Talon so the opponent doesn't get a card here, or at least they have to invest something into getting a card. I can just play Kindling Elemental for free. What if I go Protector here, next turn is Jewel plus Kindling Elemental, and then on turn 10 I could play this Protector with 3 more mana? What would I do? Just like tracking plus Tame Beast maybe? I think it makes sense to save the Kindling Elemental. Alright, this card costs 8 mana now. I'm actually not sure what I'm playing next turn. Maybe I'm playing Primordial Protector again. But I have so many cards in my deck. Like, the only reason to do that is so I don't draw the Jewel before I can play it, but there's only going to be, what, like a 1 in 15 chance of that happening? Probably not worth playing around. I'll just go Jewel next turn because it's stronger. Although, Primordial Protector can hit Tyrion. Wonder if it can hit any other good Deathrattle minions to juice up the Jewel. Jewel puts 11 damage in play, so it's not really threatening lethal with Nightmare. Maybe Primordial Protector threatens lethal more. I guess it is threatening lethal with hero power, actually. I'm actually not sure what the right play is here, but this seems scarier for the opponent to deal with. Brawl number 2. Interesting. I actually don't think I'm even playing Primordial Protector here. Just play the rush minions because they give me face damage. Could have nightmared the Porcupine, actually. It would have done 4 more immediately, and then I guess it would have done 4 more shots on the Deathrattle. That's probably pretty good, actually. It's like insurance against a Brawl this turn, or like some sort of Barrens play. Cool. Didn't even need the second Protector. I thought I might be pressed for value in that matchup.
For the Forsaken.
I do like the turn 1 Kindling Elemental. I don't think I want to keep Warsong Wrangler or Coda Bane. Maybe I keep the Wrangler, though. Curving it into the Teacher's Pet is pretty nice. I guess I'll hold on to it. Another Warsong Wrangler. So I guess I just coin Wrangler into Wrangler. Get some large Teacher's Pets. So Teacher's Pet on 5, Claw Machine on 6, Teacher's Pet on 7, and then hopefully Jewel on 8. I guess I'll just play River Croc here. Maybe play Tame Beast on turn 7 with the second Teacher's Pet.
Hungry, aren't ya?
Hopefully my current game plan isn't too slow. My opponent forgot the hero power.
Hungry, aren't ya? Leave my beast be!
8 sevens.
This is not what we stood for.
Oh, they got the rush one. I think I'm pretty okay with all the damage being sent into my minions, especially with nothing coming off of that.
Unleash foe!
I don't really want to attack this, because then the opponent can fetch Inquisitor next turn. Although Inquisitor's not that good against my Teacher's Pets. I was planning to go Claw Machine this turn, and then Teacher's Pet, Tame Beast next turn. But maybe I like Tracking plus Teacher's Pet here. Try to find a Primordial Protector for next turn, maybe. These are all really mediocre. I guess I can just play this for free here.
I have no time for games.
Teacher's Pet number 3. I don't know what gold Teacher's Pet does, but we can find out, I guess. There's no reason to not play the Kindling Elemental here, because it just uses one buff and puts out another. Well, that's a strong turn 7 from the opponent. That's a third Deathrattle, so I don't have to play Claw Machine to get full value off Jewel. Oh! That's an insane Deathrattle. I didn't think about that being added to Teacher's Pet. Wow, that's so gross here, actually. Poor opponent. So I don't have a Primordial Protector, I don't have a Jewel of N'Zoth, so I don't know what I do here. Claw Machine is pretty reasonable, but I might want to use it to take out
Let none survive.
Inquisitor. I could go for like Teacher's Pet plus Quick Shot. Inquisitor doesn't really care about Teacher's Pet though, which is unfortunate.
Vengeance is
Probably still the play though.
I have no time for games.
Inquisitor will be a 4 health minion here, and then I clean it up with Claw Machine, I guess. Every time this card is played against me, I'm just amazed that they actually printed it. It's so insanely broken. Alright, so currently my Deathrattle pool, I believe, is 2 Teacher's Pets and the Snake, the Fell Rattler. I think I just want to guarantee doubles Teacher's Pet, so I'm just going to play this before trading. I have 2 taunts here, so my board is somewhat resilient against Second Inquisitor.
Your pack will feast on your bones.
My hand kind of sucks, so I don't really mind this glide. Give me another big card. I think my hand somehow got worse, which is surprising. Let's trade this off and then cast Tracking. Just a taunt, sure. Well, it's never Mancrick. Jewel is better this turn, but Primordial Protector gives me 2 turns worth of value. I think it's probably Protector. Pretty garbage 8. This trade seems fine.
I have no time for games.
Buff up one of the taunts, I guess. I don't really know what that deck can do here. Surely my opponent's dead, right? This goes here, they heal up to 21, right? 9, 10, 18, 20. So I actually don't have guaranteed lethal. This is lethal 2/3 of the time. Nice. Alright, so I played a good handful of games with this Primordial Protector Jewel of N'Zoth deck, and I won more than I lost, so that is pretty good. I don't really have too many complaints with the way the deck is built. The only real problem I found is a lot of games, when I did manage to find the Jewel of N'Zoth for turn 8, I didn't always have 3 Deathrattles to revive, because you're not really playing any Deathrattles until turn 5, unless you happen to hit Zixor. So you kind of have to play Deathrattle 5, 6, and 7 to get a full value Jewel on curve, and sometimes your turn 7 is Primordial Protector. So basically I felt like I might want another Deathrattle in this deck. The best one I found, I think, is probably going to be Devouring Ectoplasm. It's just something we can play in the early to mid game. It's a reasonable minion, fine off the Jewel of N'Zoth, seems pretty good. If we want to go more defensive, we could play Death's Head Cultist instead. But I think I want to try out the Devouring Ectoplasm, it's just a lot more tempo. Now, the problem here is finding something to cut, and I kind of like most of the cards in the deck. I guess I'll cut this copy of Demon Companion because it feels like a bit of a filler card, and we have enough 1-cost spells for Barak. And then I think I might want to cut this Neralex, because it gives us, like, if we get like the 4-mana minion, it's just kind of clunky. I don't think we really use Nightmare that well. I think it just gives us some awkward cards. Other than the Ectoplasms, the only other card I really considered adding to this deck is Scavenger's Ingenuity. As I said, we don't play that many Deathrattles, so it's kind of nice to consistently find our Teacher's Pets. It's also pretty good with Zixor Prime. But we do have 2 copies of Warsong Wrangler already, so maybe the Ingenuity is a bit redundant. But I don't think it would hurt to play 1 copy of it, because we really do want to be finding double Teacher's Pet every game. So maybe just cut like 1 quick shot for 1 Ingenuity. Could be a reasonable enough change.
Sylvanas versus Uther. I will fight with honor.
Victory for the Forsaken.
I definitely don't keep either of the 8s, especially with Talon, right? But Talon is good. I can plan to play Protector on 7. Ingenuity can find Teacher's Pet for me. I think this is just a good 2 keep. And another Teacher's Pet, so that's my 3rd Deathrattle. Sure. I drew the 3rd Deathrattle minion anyway, so not a big deal. Ironbark! Woo! So exciting.
May the light grant you peace.
Not sure that Kindling Elemental really does anything. I guess it lets me coin out one of my 5s next turn. Which is good. That Hand of Adal nerf might be relevant here. If that 3-2... If they kill my 3-2 somehow, and then I have 2-2 against 3-2.
The best defense is a great defense.
I've been oh my yogged again. Sigil of Silence? Wow, please be avenged. Not avenge, feels bad.
I have no time for games.
Built this for me?
I guess I just pass here. Could've gone Adorable Infestation plus a 1-1. The buff would've got silenced off, but I still would've got 2 1-1s in play. Problem with that was Galloping Savior, though.
Reporting for duty.
Get coined, idiot! Oh, Sigil of Silence, I mean. You can play Carrion Studies for free. Sure, why not? Does Thalnos do anything in my deck? Quick shot? I guess I'll just take a Tonk. I probably won't have time to play it, though.
This is not what we stood for. This is not what we stood for. Rotten to the core.
Alright. Oh, now they have a secret that does something. Oh, I see. I forgot about Reckoning, so I probably should have played Adorable Infestation on my 4-5. But that's okay. I have Protector into Jewel. And even if I get unlucky enough to top deck the second Jewel here, then I can just play Tonk, which is fine. Oh, there are 2 poisonous minions I can get here. I'm not sure if that's the play.
Justice demands retribution.
Yeah, Justice does demand retribution. Sure.
My blade seeks vengeance.
Easy, Jewel.
I'm going to throw the book at you.
So I'm pretty sure I'm playing my second Jewel here. I could play the Tonk. I have some pretty good onboard trades. I'm not really worried about anything my opponent's doing, and Tonk definitely makes the pool a bit better.
Victory.
But the Tonk makes the pool better, but like trading off Ooze and Zixor doesn't necessarily. I think I'm just going to play the Jewel here.
Rotten to the core.
Trade off Talon, I think. Talon puts me up to 9. I play Jewel down to 8. Say I get 2 Talons. But I can also play a Cub, so that's fine, right?
Rotten to the core.
I didn't even get 1 Talon. Which is fine, because I got double Teacher's Pet. So this other Primordial Protector, it only summons a 2-drop, but that 2-drop is Tame Beast, which is a 6/6. So it's actually still a pretty good turn 2 play, or turn 10 play rather. I mean, I do have a Tame Beast in my hand already. But I was thinking this turn might be like Tonk Tame Beast. Oh, that's a big beast. I actually have 20 damage here.
I cannot wait to read these.
Right, let's double check. I have Quick Shot, Adorable Infestation, Hero Power is 6, plus 5 is 11, 12, 13, 16, 20. Even without lethal there, I think my hand was probably just a lot better than my opponent's. So that was just a nice solid victory for us. Alright, so I played a bit more with the deck, and after my small changes I had basically the same win rate as before the changes. So, as much as I did like the changes, I don't think they really affected things too much overall. I will say though that before I made the changes, I felt like I was never drawing my Deathrattles, and then after I added the Ectoplasms, I had plenty of Deathrattles every game, so maybe just a bit of variance on whether or not you need an extra cheap Deathrattle in this slot. I will say though that after more play, the Death's Head Cultists started becoming a lot more appealing. I was playing against a lot of like aggro shamans and stuff like that, where the just the taunt mostly, but the heal as well could have been pretty useful. So, I mean, I think either of these Deathrattle minions is very reasonable. You probably play 2 of whichever is better, but I'm really just not sure which one is better. What else did I change? I added the Scavenger's Ingenuity over a Quick Shot. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Just find your Deathrattles and, you know, pretty solid minions more consistently. if we were going to change anything at this point, there's nothing that I'm like super interested in cutting, but we would probably have to start looking at cutting Barak. It's definitely a solid card, especially with Mankrik, but it's also 5 mana, and at this point in the game we've got like Talon and Teacher's Pet we can be playing. We draw the Teacher's Pets very consistently with Warsong Wrangler and Scavenger's Ingenuity, so sometimes it's just a bit difficult to play Barak. Another card you could maybe look at cutting is Kolkar Packrunner, just because it's kind of hard to invest like time and mana into really going off with this card. But we do need something in the early game, like we don't really have a 2-drop other than the Kolkar Packrunner, and I don't really know what we could play in place of it, so we might just play it just because it's like the best early game card we could be playing. But I definitely don't love the effect of the card in this deck compared to some other Hunter decks. If we want just a better all-around 2-drop, we could just play Imprisoned Felmaw in this slot. We're not really like a super aggressive deck, so this thing just going face isn't like insane for us. But it's one of those things where even if it's not super good for the archetype, it's just the quality of the card is so high that you at least consider playing it. So yeah, I guess this is a substitution you could try out potentially. I can't really decide what I want to replace this Kodo Bane with. We could maybe play like Mystery Winner. It's like a solid thing we can do on turn 1. And similar to Barak, it gives us like a little bit of value. Mystery Winner also gives us a 60% chance at Pack Tactics, which is pretty good at copying Teacher's Pet and Talon. So like maybe that's a substitution that we could make. We could even play a second one, cutting Quick Shot, or maybe an Imprisoned Felmaw. Seems like it could be reasonable. I think Quick Shot is probably what I would cut. So yeah, this could be a very reasonable build of the deck. So anyway, thanks again to Shish for the Patreon deck. And thanks to all my other viewers for scrolling down and clicking on the subscribe button.